So my main line of work really entails working with clients one-on-one to help them improve their health through the use of herbs, vitamins, and overall supplements. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the supplements that I have used in my recovery that has been more than anything the cherry on top to my recovery. This is not meant to be a personal recommendation or serve as any type of medical advice, but rather my hope is that this may encourage you to take inventory of your own health. We can't take care of our health without being in kind of this restrictive mindset that could potentially lead to a binge. Weight can most definitely affect your health, but to be clear, it is not the end-all be-all metric for health. Being a holistic nutritionist, my approach is rooted in the importance of taking into perspective the entirety of a person. So that can include mental and social factors, rather than just taking into consideration symptoms of illness. Meaning that I do not look at these supplements and these vitamins and minerals or herbs as a cure-all or an attempt to treat my binge eating disorder. I did not take these things because I was thinking this will fix me, this will fix my issue, this will stop me from binge eating. There are a lot of videos on YouTube, a good amount, that have those claims that say, I know why you're binge eating, just take more of this, and this is gonna solve your binge eating. I can tell you, working in this industry and having tried and taken a lot of different things from vitamins to minerals to supplement, just all types of things, that there is no pill that you could take to cure what is going on for you psychologically. As someone who has a history of binging and purging, meaning throwing up or using diet teas to try to soften the blow of a binge, purging definitely was more sporadic than my binging was, but I still would do it. So I used to have mornings after a while where I would wake up and my hands would be so swollen, like I could feel the swelling in my hands and my feet, and it was water retention. So I realized that I needed to take electrolytes in order to kind of course correct all the binging and purging that I had done in the past. My swelling had definitely decreased in taking the electrolytes. I also supplemented with trace minerals. They are technically micronutrients, so you really don't need a lot, but in this day and age, I do feel that the amount of minerals that are depleted from our soil due to overworking the land, basically, it just leads to this depletion of minerals in our foods. So the funny thing is that water retention and dehydration can occur simultaneously, and that dehydration can result in water retention over time. So you might think that a diuretic, or the fact that I was throwing up, letting go of liquids that way, or the fact that I was taking some of those like slimming teas, that may be like, well, there you go, you let go of the water, didn't you? But in fact, it doesn't fix the problem at all. If anything, it makes it worse, because again, the important part there is that the minerals are in balance so that your body can properly function and properly maintain water balance. I think supplementing with fiber sometimes gets a bad rap, and sometimes it is overused. I think there is an importance to getting your fiber from your actual food, but like I said, this is a little bit tricky, because when you're in recovery, specifically when I was beginning my recovery, I noticed that if I tried to start to pay attention to like what I was eating on a nutritional level, it really would throw off my recovery. And that's something like to think about. There's an aspect psychologically, there was an aspect of, for me, that when I would consider the nutritional value of food, it was enough to trigger a later binge or a tendency to want to emotionally overeat. It just was not there was a lot there that was sticking to me when it came to my view on food and what it meant about me. So this is psyllium. This technically has a different name, but it's basically psyllium. And this one is an everybody's fiber. This kind of has a combination of different fibers in it. You're talking about apple fruit pectin, slippery elm, which I'm a big fan of slippery elm. The binge eating and overeating really kind of wreaked havoc on my gastrointestinal system, I would say. And after some blood work, I did see that my cholesterol levels were in the upper side of the normal range. And I noticed that my energy would take a huge plunge after an hour of eating any meal that was even relatively high in carbohydrates. So it became clear to me that I needed to look for a fiber to help. And then I did feel better in the first week, and the second week I felt even better. And as the weeks followed, honestly, I just felt better and better about all those factors, really. So cod liver oil was one of the things that I had initially started taking. So it wasn't this exact one, but this is a version of cod liver oil. So it has naturally occurring vitamin A. There's D3. It is EPA and DHA rich. It is an omega-3. I would say that the main reason that I even decided to take the cod liver oil, to be specific, is that my weight fluctuations, and just overall, when you have a binge eating disorder, or you're in diet culture, you don't even have to have binge eating disorder in particular, but when you are in the thralls of diet culture and you are doing this yo-yo dieting, that comes along with it often, is it can lead to a lot of inflammation. And it actually introduces the likelihood to different metabolic diseases. Little fluctuations in weight is completely normal. I'm talking about big fluctuations where you're like, I lost 20 pounds and then gained them back within a week. Or like there are people who are out there promoting, lose 40 pounds in 3 months, and things like that. Fish oils in general tend to be shown to reduce, and I mean quality fish oils, before I keep going, there's a difference out there, but quality fish oils have been shown to reduce inflammation overall, as well as assist in heart health and function. So again, when I saw my cholesterol levels, I took it upon myself to take a kind of preventative approach. That's really what all of this is prevention. And I think prevention is one of the best forms of healthcare. Okay, last but most certainly not least is iodine. Now, this one is the more potentially controversial one that I'm going to bring up. I just wanted to put that out there. I will obviously link the research and the kind of resources all down in the description if you guys are curious to check those out. So the one that I'm taking is actually already combined with several other things, specifically L-tyrosine, selenium, and it does have something else. I want to say vitamin B6. I have to look at it again, but those three were really the selling point for me, as well as the experience that a lot of customers have given on that specific product. And right before I began my recovery, I found that I had worsening symptoms. So some of the symptoms I've already kind of detailed previously, but these included fatigue, weight gain, trouble tolerating cold, joint and muscle pain. I had dry skin, my hair was thinning, and I had started having really irregular menstrual periods, and my heart rate was tending to slow down. So obviously all of these things can also be connected to possibilities and changes in my cholesterol levels and other things, right? But I felt like, oh, it's my thyroid again. I am somebody that has always had pretty consistent periods. Always. Since I got it to the point, I've always been pretty consistent in that. And it was only until recently that I started recovery that my periods have kind of gone out of whack. And actually, they had started going out of whack before recovery, but they definitely have worsened. And I'm like, okay, yeah, my weight can obviously play a role. Weight fluctuations, again, play a role in your hormonal activity, specifically relating to your menstrual period. The problem there is that I got to do something about it, right? And I'm not trying to do what many doctors, if you go to a doctor and tell them about your regular periods and you are overweight, they are going to tell you to lose weight to fix it, or they are going to prescribe you birth control to quote unquote regulate your period. And that's just not it. I think in terms of women's health, that's just the worst advice you could fucking give. No, I'm sorry. That was a little extra. That was a little extreme. All right, let me back it up for a second. It is not very holistic advice, and it misses a lot of underlying issues that, if attended to in time, could prevent a lot of long-term damage to your endocrine system and to your just metabolic health overall. In terms of the iodine protocol, I really I have noticed improvements, but also it's been the supplement on this in this list that I've done for the least amount of time. So this one is relatively new, but I already feel like I've seen improvements in my energy. I don't think I'll see like really the maximum benefits till I really find, like I said, that right dosage for me, but I am looking forward to how the supplement is going to pan out for me in recovery. Like I said, I have listed the resources below. Please do not take this as any type of advice for like, hey, you should be taking this if you're recovering from binge eating disorder. These are just me giving you guys a breakdown. My hope is that you guys will not allow yourselves to feel like you have no choices when it comes to taking care of your physical health in a time where you cannot put so much emphasis on what you eat. You see what happens when I don't have like a script? I go off the rails. All right, this is gonna be a headache to edit. I can already see. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this wasn't too much of a mess to listen to or too much of a mess for me to edit. We will see, but I hope you guys enjoyed it nonetheless, and I will catch you guys on the next one. If you have any questions about anything that I mentioned today, please leave them in the comments down below, or as always, feel free to DM me at excuse my thick thighs on Instagram. All right.